Okay, in solving multi-step equations, we got three things. Um, on my left and right hand side of the equation simplified. First, you got to do make sure you do that, and then check all my variables together on one side. You got to make sure that's true. Once you've done that, then you can do side map or reverse PEMDAS to isolate the x. So let's try this example. Let's see, here's an example that comes to mind. I call this example number one. Let's throw a fraction there. 1/3 times 3x plus 6, all right, equals to 10x minus 7. Okay, so first thing, let's look at step one. All my left and right hand simplified. Well, I need to simplify this. And by simplifying, I mean get rid of the parentheses. And this is the distributive property here. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of parentheses on the left. So 1/3 times 3 is 1, and 1 times x is x. So 1/3 times 3x is just x. 1/3 times 6 is 2. Most calculators will tell you that. Okay, so checking there is can I simplify on the right? Nope, I can't do anything with that. So that completes pretty much step one. Now for step two, all my variables together on one side. Let's see, all my variables together on one side. Well, no, I got a 10x over here and an x over here. So either this x needs to move over here to the right, or the 10x moves to the left. And what I like to do is I find a smaller one and I move the small one. So I got a 10x versus 1x, which means I am going to get rid of the 1x and subtract it from both sides, because that's the smaller of the two variables. If you can, smaller coefficient, let's just say that. All right, so when I do that, it's gonna give me a 2 here, bring down the 2, try to keep my equal signs straight. 10x minus x is 9x, and then I'll bring down the 7. Okay, so we're still trying to get the variables together on one side, and we're basically there. And well, yeah, actually we do have the variables on one side. There are no variables on the left, all variables on the right. So now we should have a two-step equation here. That means I need to get rid of this 7. So let's use the opposite of subtracting 7. Add 7 to both sides. Bring down my equal sign. Bring down my 9x, which you know that's gone. And just like that. And then 2 plus 7 is 9. Okay, and I still don't have x by itself yet, so I need to multiply 9 times x. I need to, opposite of multiplication is division, divide both sides by 9, goes out, I get 1 here and I get x there. It's isolated, x is isolated, then I have my answer there. All right, and considering problem number 2, a little more complicated, we still want the same 3 steps. That'll be our second example. I'm going to use the same steps basically here, same steps. Okay, so again, what we want to do here, first thing we want to do is simplify a left, you can't see that, left and right, simplify, get rid of those parentheses. All right, and I have 2 parentheses here to get rid of. So let's expand these. I'm going to expand this one. Notice that this 3 must be distributed here. So I'm going to go 3. 3 times x is 3x. And 3 times 4 is 12. And there is a minus between those. Notice that now I can get rid of parentheses. I didn't do anything with this 12, this 2x. So I'm just going to bring it down. Notice that the 3 is not multiplied times the negative negative 2x. It's outside of parentheses. Equals. We also need to distribute this negative sign. To make it easier, you remember we put a 1 here? We can put a 1 there and it doesn't change anything. So I end up multiplying negative 1 times 36. And I also got to multiply it here too. So a negative 1 times 36 is a negative 36. And a negative 1 times a negative 5x is a positive 5x, because a negative times a negative is a positive. Okay, don't forget. All right. So we got one more thing. We got to simplify the left and the right. I can't do it. I can simplify here because I got a 3x minus 2x. I know what that is. That is x, and 3x minus 2x is x. So I'm simplifying that. I'll just bring down a 12. I can't simplify that anymore. Same thing with on the right. I can't do anything. Negative 36 plus 5x. I can't simplify that anymore. So I am done with my simplification step. So my next step is all my variables together on one side. Let's get these variables together. So I got a 5x on the right and I got an x on the left. So I'm going to move this x over. Okay, I'm going to subtract. It's a positive x, so I'm going to subtract x. And you see I've changed my color. Actually, my color should be all right. And what I do to one side, I must do to the other. All right, so yeah, that's better. Okay, all right, so now let's go ahead and take care of that. We know that that's going to go away. And that's going to bring down a negative 12 here. And we will bring down a negative 36. And we got 5x minus x is equal to just positive 4x. Okay. All right. So at this point, we have, all right, so we have our variables. We've already got our variables together on one side. All right, we've done that. Variables all together on one side. See, that's all the variables right there. So now, since we've done that, now we can isolate the x. Okay, we're using reverse operations there. Now I'm gonna make you dizzy with this camera, I know. Okay, so I'll go ahead and switch to my green pen and let's do that. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do, let's take care of this constant here. The opposite of negative 36 is a positive 36. I'm going to add 36. And goes away. Those are additive inverses. That's going to give me a 4x on the right. And a negative 12 plus 36 is the same thing as 36 minus 12, which is a positive 24. Okay? Now, to get x by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by 4 by the coefficient of x. When I do that, 4 goes into 24 6 times, and x is left by itself. And that's example number 2. Now you're ready to try the next 4 problems.